Today we're going to be making what I call Grok Bread. I am so excited about today's menu. We are making bread, and I know that one of the things that I missed the most when I first started doing low carb keto was bread. You never realize how much you use bread in everything.
Get in my belly!
Sandwiches, pizza, burgers, everything. Before I get started, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and like. That way it gets put out there more and more people will see it. Now we're going to be using a new kind of protein flour that I just found out about. I think they've been around a while, but it's called Elevate, and it tastes good. It's probably good for like white bread, but I'm going to be trying to add some flavor to it, give it a little savory flavor and try to add something to it. So we'll see how it works. There are times when I add actual shredded cheese into the dough and cook it in the dough and let it cook in the dough, and I might do that on some point. I've made this a few times. I've made it with Grok.
You can't eat bread anymore, Dave.
But I really want bread.
The one that you're gonna watch coming up is the one that I've enjoyed eating. It's the one that tastes the best. This is going to the extreme of what I can handle cooking. So if I am a little too chatty, if it gets a little too verbose for you, go ahead, and I have chapters down below so you can go to what section. And if you really want to, you can go right to the end. If you want to just get the recipe, you can just go there and get the recipe. But stick around and bake this with me. It's a lot of fun. Baking bread is so wonderful. So let's do it together. So before I do anything, I'm going to be making the yeast, because you want to let it sit for like 5 to 10 minutes before you add it to the mix. First, we're gonna take 2/3 cup of water. I just happen to have a thing of spring water here. It's got to be 105 to 110 degrees. So I usually try to get it at least over 100, and that way it activates the yeast to start eating all the sugars on you. So you don't eat the sugars, the yeast does. So we're gonna go microwave this. Right now it's at 130. I'm gonna let it cool a little before I add the yeast, but you can add the honey while it's hot. Now this is the part that's I think adds a cool flavor to it, like a kind of nice savory sweet flavor to it. So I'm gonna add the 2 teaspoons in here, and don't worry about the honey. The yeast will eat all the sugar, so hopefully what you're done with is yeast, which is awesome, and some nice flavored bread. Okay, so once the water cools down to around 110, then you want to add the yeast in. And I use instant yeast. I don't know what the difference is between the two. And you want to do 1 teaspoon of the yeast. So we're gonna mix that in there. Smells really good. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up, and we're gonna let it sit for at least 5 minutes, maybe a little more, but however long it takes us to make the dry part, we're gonna let it just sit and ferment. Actually, I don't know if it's ferment. If someone could comment and tell me what the process of yeast bubbling up is, I don't know. But we're gonna let it sit to the side. We're gonna take it out, sit to the side, and we're gonna work on the dry stuff next. Now is when the exciting part happens. We're gonna add everything into the mixing bowl. I'm gonna be using the KitchenAid to mix everything up, which is very exciting. My wife let me use that. You gotta know what you're doing. Well, I learned how to use it, and she approved it, and it's working good. So I have used King Arthur protein flour, and I've also used Elevate protein flour, and so I like them both. They're both okay. I think this is a mix of both. 1.5 cups of Elevate protein, and I'm just going to use my 1/2 cup 3 times. And then we're going to use 3 tablespoons of oat fiber. One of the things I have are these on a magnet, and I'll have a link to those below if you want to get them. I found with MS, kind of helps having everything in one spot. Now we're going to use 2 tablespoons of the Flaxseed Meal. I keep it in the freezer just because I've heard some people saying that it goes bad, and I don't know if that's true. If it is, if you have experience with flaxseed meal, let me know what you guys do. I'd love to hear what you guys do. Now we're going to use a 1/3 cup of gluten, and I think if you got to go gluten free, you can skip this. Hopefully you can put this in, and we're going to see what this tastes like afterwards. Okay, now this next ingredient, it's kind of exciting. It's Big Daddy Mac mix. So it's basically a cheese powder. I don't know how this is going to add to it, or if it's going to add to it. I don't know. and we'll see what that does. Okay, the next thing is xanthan gum, but we're gonna do a teaspoon of xanthan gum. Now this is something that doesn't mix well if anything's wet, and that's why you put it all in dry together and mix it all up very well dry before you add anything wet. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of Psyllium Husk powder. What that does is I believe it makes the bread more chewy, stretch, and elasticity. Okay, the next thing is baking powder, and I believe that has something to do with rising or helping it rise, giving it that fluffy. So we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and we're gonna do 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So here's 1. And here is the half. The next thing is going to be garlic powder or onion powder. It's very strong, so you might want to take this out totally if you don't like the flavor with it. I add it because it gives it kind of a savory thing, and mostly I'll be using these for like sandwiches or burgers. But if you're going to use it for something like grilled cheese sandwich or something like that, or sandwiches that you don't want like super savory, skip the onion powder, skip the garlic powder. I do love the smell of it though. It's the Italian in me. I love it. And here's the part that kind of surprises people, and I don't know. I think it's a good thing, but I don't know. I'm not a baker. My wife is a great baker, but she goes by the recipes, so she knows exactly what's going in there. She doesn't know she doesn't play around with it, so she doesn't know what different things. So I've been bouncing ideas off Grok, but Grok likes everything you say. You know, hey, I want to make salads into French fries.
Honestly, I think that's a pretty creative culinary twist. Turning French fries into salad sounds like a magical transformation where guilty pleasure meets healthy-ish vibes.
That's a great idea. One idea it had was to put a tablespoon of yeast into the dry mix. And I figured that might be good because it gives it that bread flavor right in the dry mix. And plus, if I'm putting a little extra honey, like 1 extra teaspoon or something of honey, it might be nice to have extra yeast somewhere in there, so when I'm letting it rise, hopefully it's eating that. Hopefully they're mixing and eating that. So the last thing we're going to add to the dry is the allulose. They say add 1 to 4 tablespoons. I'm gonna put in 4 because I like it sweet, so let's go. Let's see what happens. Now my allulose, I've actually mixed it in with monk fruit. I'm trying monk fruit, and it looks like monk fruit is always cut with something. It's cut with erythritol or erythritol or erythritol.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
And I don't like that. So they do sell monk fruit that's cut with allulose. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm used to using allulose anyway. I like the benefits. Okay, once you have all the dry things in there, you want to mix it up very well because you want the xanthan gum to be well mixed and you want everything to be well mixed. The highfalutin low carb guy, he runs everything through a sift, but the difference is he also knows what he's doing. I will give you something good. If you look at some of my other videos, they're all like stuff that I make. I'll make them a few days out of the week. I also like watching Dave. I like watching him because he doesn't know what he's doing. And I like that a lot because he's learning it like me and he's doing it and he's fun to watch and he's a funny guy. He's naturally funny. Okay, now we're gonna get ready to mix the wet stuff in. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's gorgeous. The yeast is foamed up beautifully. So we're gonna pour that in. Now we're gonna use 5 eggs in this, 4 eggs complete total, and then 1 egg, just the egg white. Now I put them in the bowl because I like to mix them before I add them. I like to, so I fluff it up a little. And now I want just 1 egg white. So I have a tool that you break the egg over that, and then you get the yolk separate. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna save the yolk and we're gonna use an egg wash out of the yolk. So I broke it into there. And I'm gonna add 4 tablespoons of milk.
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
And if you have a blender or something you wanna use, it'll go well. Okay, so let's blend all that together. The next thing is butter. So we want 5 tablespoons of soft butter. So I would leave it out while you're doing all the other stuff and let the butter get soft. More butter, the better. My wife mentioned that a lot of times for pastries and stuff, when you want it to be more fluffy. You don't melt the butter, you put it in kind of soft. We add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And I used apple cider vinegar when I first got involved with keto cooking and trying to do bread because they mentioned doing that for almond flour. I really could not stand the flavor of almond flour. It was just absolutely disgusting to me. They suggested doing that and it kills that like mildew mold flavor that the almond flour tastes like in bread. And this is starting to smell like bread. And the last wet ingredient we're gonna add is vanilla extract. If you use regular vanilla, that's great, has a great flavor. I believe this just is gonna make it a little more savory. And I mean, it's only a teaspoon, so it's not even that much. I use the vanilla flavor instead of the original vanilla. My wife uses the original vanilla. She's willing to spend that kind of money for it. So I use the, just says flavor, vanilla flavor. So we don't know what it actually is. It just tastes like vanilla. We're gonna do the next step now. We're gonna use the mixer. This is my favorite part of making the bread. Since my wife showed me how to use the mixer, this has been something I love using. Okay, I started with the wrong blade. I was using the kneading blade and I should have been using the mixing blade. So I put the mixing blade in. We're gonna be using that now and we're gonna mix it up. Don't tell my wife. These infernal engines are so difficult. Okay, so I got it out of the KitchenAid and it's very soft. It's not like dough like you would expect. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna scoop it out into a big ball. So I have these mats. And I'll put a link in the description below. I'm gonna spread a little bit of this keto flour on it. Then I'm gonna scoop it as one big ball. So as you coat it with the flour, it's starting to act like a ball of dough. Okay, once you get it into kind of a ball, you can start cutting it. And I cut it in halves and then in halves. I make 8 out of these. So I'm gonna cook them with these little silicone pans. Put a link to these below. And they're perfect for like personal pizzas and little things that you're just making for you or just for one. So I'm gonna take 2 of these and throw them in there. Now I'm gonna use the egg wash, pour a little bit of everything bagel on there. It's amazing what that does for flavor. Let these rise for like 10-15 minutes. We're gonna preheat the oven to 350 degrees. So while the oven's preheating, I'm going to take the time to freeze these.
Everything freezes.
And also to clean up a little because it gets messy. After the oven preheats, we're gonna put it in here and we're gonna set the timer for 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, we check it. It might need to go more, it might not. Look at these babies, they're beautiful. So this has been like the far end of my ability for this. It took a lot, it takes a lot, but it's worth it. There is something so awesome about making bread. It's almost got a biblical or a creation kind of feel to it. There's something amazing about taking powder and making food, and something about bread. It's kind of like a family thing and a unity thing. With keto bread, you have to wait till it cools before you cut into it, before you try to eat it, before you break it. This is still incredibly warm, so I'm gonna totally let it cool completely. This looks amazing. I've done these a few times. So this is cooled down a lot. And I'm gonna cut it. My wife said she's gonna make me a hamburger, so I'm gonna use it on a hamburger. I just wanted to see if it's still flaky or if it's more like bread now or what the deal is. So I'm just cutting out the inside so I can test it. It's actually still a little warm. It's really good. If you're eating this like as part of a meal or something, it's very filling, so take less portions of other stuff because this is gonna fill you up. So that's my version of AI Grok Bread. I hope you had a lot of fun watching this, and I hope you have fun making it and enjoy it. This is the perfect place to pause if you wanna have the recipe on the screen for you. You can also scan this and it'll bring you to all my menu stuff, and you can have it on a mobile device. Are you looking for more low-carb goodies? Then go ahead and raid my fridge. I've got a playlist full of all kinds of treats. Hope you have a great day.